What's happening, golfing fans? Welcome back to the channel, brought to you in association with betting.co.uk. I'm your host, Ginger Joe, and I'm back again with my weekly golf selections for you to take a look at. And in this week's episode, we've got two events to cross our attentions to. We've got the ISPS Handa on the DP World Tour, and then we've got the golf at Adelaide on the LIV golf circuit to take a look at as well. And if you're new to my channel, please do hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out a great deal, and you generally get a good bit of karma for doing so as well. And by subscribing, you do get the opportunity to enter my £5 free bet giveaway, which happens every single week in my golf series. All you need to do is comment with who you think will be the winner in this week's event on the DP World Tour, and the highest finisher will get a £5 free bet for next week. And this is going to be every single week on the channel, but if you just want to be entered in that, then please do hit that subscribe button, which is completely free, because of course I do want your support. Now, also, just to mention, I've got a golf column over on betting.co.uk where you can find loads of sign-up offers as well. And also got a free horse racing and golf group chat. And if you'd like to come and join me, there's a free link in the description below. But we're going to go straight on to the selections. And we're currently sitting at a very healthy profit this year, 414 points in the profit. Last week was actually the first time that we had a losing week in some time now, but we've got a lot of healthy profit, and I'm quite sweet on a few for this week. I've got 5 selections in the ISPS Handa on the DP World Tour, and I've got 3 selections for you in the LIV golf event as well. But I'll go straight on, starting with the DP World Tour, the ISPS Handa at Ishioka Golf Club in Japan, 7,071 yards, and this looks like it's going to be an absolute birdie fest this week. I've taken a look at the course, and I'm pretty sure some of these players are really going to eat this up. So what I need is a player that putts well, a really solid wedge player, and players that have had a really good sort of bit of form hitting the low numbers in the low 60s. I like to find a bit of consistency in those sort of areas, especially when the score is going to be completely off the chain this week, and I can't wait for this one to actually get underway. Now, it was actually due to take place on the DP World Tour last year here at Ishioka Golf Club. However, due to the sanctions over the COVID situation, it was only open to the Japanese players, and the ISPS was actually held in Spain. But in Japan, the winner was minus 26, and that was effectively only a half field, because if you think about it, the other players weren't able to turn up. So you can certainly expect a really low scoring event again this year. My first selection comes from France in the name of Antoine Rosner at 28 to 1, world number 136, and he's a player that I've become really fond of over the past 6 to 12 months. Turning into a proper top class player, he's ultra consistent, and I probably think that he's actually going to end up in the top 100 of the world soon. He's not too far off already. But he's got 3 wins on the DP World Tour already. He's been 3-time runner-up already this season, and he's a great wedge player, a really good putter, and he shoots in the 60s really often. Scoring these really low rounds is, I really think, vital this week, and you're going to need to be putting well. He is actually planning on playing in Korea next week as well, so I do think that it could be a couple of big weeks for Antoine Rosner, and he is my number 1 selection at 28 to 1. My second selection is Alexander Nappe at 100 to 1, world number 307 from Germany. And he's actually a player quite interesting. He was in the news last week, and he's tried to pledge that he's going to play every single DP World Tour event this year, which I think is going to take some doing physically, mentally. But he started this season really, really well, so hard to really doubt him so far as well. And he's a 3-time winner on the Sunshine Tour already, so he knows how to win. I'm pretty sure he's going to break his maiden too. He was 3rd in the Thailand Classic this year, but then backed it up by finishing 6th in the Indian Open. He's a really good player. He's got a very simple movement with his backswing and his follow-through. So I think with his wedge game, the way that we saw him play in the Thailand Classic, again, this should really, really suit him very nicely indeed. Really good short game. As mentioned, that is what I'm after in particular. So that's Alexander Nappe at 100 to 1. My third selection is another German, Marcel Schneider at 50 to 1, the world number 167. He's actually got bags of talent. He's been playing really well this year too. Again, a 3-time Challenge Tour winner, and I know how hard it is to win on that tour, believe you me. Settled into the DP World Tour really nicely, and he closed out the Ras Al Khaimah by shooting a 65, a really, really low score. Then went to the Singapore the following week and started off with 2 67s, then a 70, then back down into the the high 60s again, shooting a 69. And his consistency is one that definitely comes from his putter. Another who I think soon is really going to break his maiden. And he's another one of these German players that's making a real big name for himself. They've got loads at the moment. They've got Yannick Poole. They've got Maximilian Kiefer. They've really got a few players that are really starting to show some dominance. And I do think in a couple of years' time that they're going to be, all of them potentially in the top 100, really starting to show some proper form against the top fields as well. So Marcel Schneider at 50 to 1 is my third selection. Then my first of the home players is going to be Ryo Hisatsune at 66 to 1. from Japan himself, world number 172, and became a golfer to follow actually of mine when he chased Jorge Campillo all the way down in the Kenyan Open. We actually backed Jorge Campillo that day when we landed the big cross tour double. He won at 33 to 1, and he's generally a player that plays on the DP World Tour and the Japan Tour, but he does play now and then on the PGA Tour, and he hasn't actually missed the cut there as well. So I think he's going to really enjoy it this week back in his home country. Ryo Hisatsune at 66 to 1. Now my final player on the DP World Tour is another Japanese man, Ryo Ishikawa at 100 to 1. You may have heard of a little bit about him before. He was actually a very interesting player as a youngster, the youngest player to ever win on the Japan Tour at the age of 15. He plays on the DP World Tour, a little bit on the Japan Tour as well, and he's actually got 16 wins worldwide as a professional. He was also the first to shoot a 58 on the Japan Tour as well, and due to that he actually managed to get himself an invite to the Masters. Even though he didn't figure, that was a hell of a performance, and he seems to play very, very well in his home courses and not necessarily too well when he goes elsewhere. That being said, he's still going to manage to knock himself 16 wins worldwide, and I think he's going to have a really good chance at 100 to 1 in his hometown. So, on to the LIV Golf tournament now at Adelaide. We've got the Grange Golf Club here, another design by Alistair McKenzie, who's recently been redesigned actually by Greg Norman. Not a very long course here. We've got 6,946 yards, just the 4 par 5s in this one as well. And even though the scoring should be pretty low here, it could be quite windy. It's real near the Australian coast here, so it could be quite difficult conditions. But either way, the scoring should be pretty low. My number one selection, whether you like him or hate him, is Patrick Reed, the world number 44 at 16 to 1. And as I said, whether you like him or hate him, you cannot doubt his talent. He's a 9-time PGA Tour winner. He's the 2018 Masters winner. And he actually played really well this year in the Masters as well to finish tied 4th. He comes into this in really good form, and he's already got 5 top 5s in the LIV circuit as well. He's a very interesting player, a very, very interesting character who, as I said, some people like him, some people don't. But from a betting perspective this week, I think he's got a really good chance at 16 to 1, and that's all I care about. Selection number 2 is Paul Casey at 22 to 1, a 5-time Ryder Cup player, and he's actually from Cheltenham, just down the road here from me as well. So I've always been one that's latched onto him a little bit as well, but he's a really good player, Paul Casey, very, very good in particular with his irons, and that approach play here at Adelaide I think is going to be very, very important. A 19-time tour winner. Best part of his game is definitely his irons, and you need to be very, very good with your irons coming to these sort of Mackenzie tracks. You don't get any slip-offs when you've got any of the approach plays. As you can see, obviously, at Augusta, and even here in Cheltenham, he actually designed one of the courses called Lillybrook, and it's quite a similar sort of track, again, with the tree line, and everything from the green seems to slope away from all of the angles. So, very difficult track, but that iron play from Paul Casey, I think, is going to be really, really beneficial to him this week. And 22 to 1, I think he's actually got a great shout this week. Now, my third selection is going to be the 12 to 1 favourite, Cameron Smith. Sounds a little bit boring, but the 2020 Open Championship has been speaking about this event all season long. He played okay in the Masters, but probably going to be a little bit better off for that event coming back here. And I think it would be excellent for him to have a winner on home soil as well. This is one that he could be destined for. He finished tied 34th in this year's Masters. He's a 5-time tour winner. He's already a major champion. 12 to 1 may be a little bit skinny, but in this field, with the other selections that we've got this week, I would be happy to have Cam Smith in there, and it could be one that he's actually just destined for. So, just to recap on my selections, in the DP World Tour, I've got Antoine Rosner at 28 to 1, Alexander Nape at 100 to 1, Marcel Schneider at 50 to 1, Ryo Hisatsune at 60 to 1, and then Ryo Ishikawa at 100 to 1. And then on the LIV Golf at Adelaide, we've got Patrick Reed at 16 to 1, Paul Casey at 22 to 1, and then Cam Smith at 12 to 1. As I mentioned, I'm going to be playing these with the singles, but also on the cross doubles as well. And don't forget, there's a £5 free giveaway if you can pick the highest finisher of the DP World Tour. My results will be given in next week's video, but if you want the results sooner, do come over and join my free horse racing and golf group chat using the free link in the description below. And please do hit that subscribe button to help out the cause. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to check out my column over on betting.co.uk. That's all for now. I'll see you all real soon.